Hey guys, I'm Jay Mamie from thejmamie.com. Excited to bring you another segment on how to thrive. So let's get started. Hey guys, I wanted to take a few minutes here just to share with you a few thoughts. I was actually having a lunch meeting with a good friend of mine that I've been working with a little bit on with in terms of mentoring and personal development and such. And we actually had such a great meeting. And as she left, I thought to myself, I have to share this with everyone because this was very, very powerful. It impacted her. These are points that I've made before to other people, and I thought I better get on the camera here and record them as quickly as I could so that they wouldn't decay from my memory as I would launch on to the next thought, which happens all the time. But we're here. Actually, it's beautiful. It's the backdrop here is Rye, New York. It's not far from where I live, and it's just a nice place. A little overcast today, but just a real nice place to come out and think and talk to people, and it's one of my favorite spots. But as I had a chance to talk with this, which is wonderful person, she's struggling a little bit in her situation with trying to find her place in life and her calling and her assignment. She's at a dead-end job, and I know many of you are probably in the same situation. You're at a dead-end job, or you go there because you have to, not because you want to. You work with people you don't really like for a pay you really can't live on anyway, and it's frustrating as hell. And you know there's just something more. You know there's something better. And by the way, it might not necessarily be a job. It may also be a particular business that you're in that you happen to fall into it at one time, got excited about it, and then it's no longer working for you, and now you're sort of itching to do something different. And she says to me, she says, well, Jay, what would you recommend? I mean, how do I begin to know if I have to move on to do something else? And I told her there's 4 indicators that can give you a real sense that you're on the right track, that what you're looking for, whether it's a career or a business or a school, whatever it is, it's an indication that'll give you, 4 indications that'll give you the sense that you're on the right track. And I said to her, the first thing is you have to find out if what you're doing is going to give you a sense of fulfillment. It's going to give you a sense of purpose, a sense of satisfaction, that at the end of the day, there's just something about what you're doing that gives you a sense of bliss, that sense of comfort. That's the first indication. If you're doing something that's not giving you any sense of fulfillment, there's no passion behind it, it's more of just routine and mundane type of activity, and you still feel somewhat empty after all the work that you do, then that's a good indication that's probably not where you should be, or that's not the path you should be on. So a sense of fulfillment certainly is one of those things we've got to be mindful of. The second thing is, I said, is it bringing you any fun? Are you having fun with what you're doing? Is it giving you a sense of excitement when you're doing it? And she said, absolutely not. I said, well, that's another indication. See, if you're not having any fun with what you're doing, if it's not giving you this sense of almost like a joy while you're doing it, if it becomes drudgery, if it becomes stale, and you actually dread doing it, then that's probably another indication that it's not where you should be. It's not the path you're supposed to be on. If you're not having any fun, we're supposed to have fun in life, right? Well, if you're not having any fun in what you're doing, then that's probably another indication that you are what I call out of alignment. But what's the third thing you have to be mindful of? The third thing has to be, and I believe is probably the most important one, is the sense of clarity, the sense of certainty. In other words, you know that you're on the right track. You know, there are a lot of things in life that we do, a lot of decisions that we make in life that oftentimes create a little bit of confusion, right? You second guess yourself, you have a sense of doubt, disbelief, you wonder, did I make the right decision? And you become very confused. As you get more and more information, you start to question whether or not what you're doing is the right thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? We all go through those phases of confusion. Well, if you're supposed to be doing what you're called to do and what you are meant to do, then you have clarity, you have certainty, you have very little room for disbelief, and doubt has no leg to stand on. That's the third indication that tells you, hey, I'm in alignment, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, is when you have a sense of clear clarity that you're there. And the fourth thing is, and I think fourth thing is equally as important as the other, is that you have very little obstacles that get in your way. In other words, there is not a whole lot of struggle to achieve what you're trying to achieve. It's what I call the Moses moment. For those of you who don't know Moses, right? Moses had the Red Sea experience where all of a sudden where he wanted to go, where he knew he'd had to go, he came across a massive obstacle called the Red Sea. But because he was supposed to go there, listen to me now, because he was supposed to go there, that was his assignment, that was what he was called to do. The sea parted. In other words, there was very little resistance in the direction he had to go in. I hope you listen to me on this one, because if you're where you're supposed to go, one of the greatest indicators is that you have very little obstacle, very little resistance. It's almost as if the Red Sea parts ways. It's the Moses moment, I call it, where things just seem to fall into place, right? You meet the right people at the right time. You happen to bump to a person that leads you to another opportunity. Things fall on your lap. The things you seek happen to appear faster. You attract good things. Well, that's the path of least resistance. And that's a very strong indicator that you're on the right track. So let me sum it up this way. How do you know you're on the wrong track or way off track? How do you know? You're not having any fun. You're confused. You are running into a lot of problems and obstacles, not just with people, but situations. And at the end of the day, what's happening to you is you really aren't feeling any fulfillment. It's empty. If you're experiencing those four things in whatever you're doing now, here's what I can share with you. It might be time to look for something different. It might be time to begin to explore something new, something that will give you a sense of fulfillment, fun, joy, right? A sense of clarity. And boy, the most important part is you'll have very little resistance because you're supposed to be doing that particular thing. I hope this helps you as much as it helped my friend just now. We left having lunch here at this wonderful place in Rye, New York. I appreciate you checking in. TheJMamie.com. Keep coming back for more. Take care.